Hey, welcome to Growing. There is an amazing passage of scripture in the Old Testament in Leviticus chapter 16. I'm not going to read the whole chapter because it would take a long time, but it's talking about the forgiveness of sin and what this looked like with a conversation with God and Moses and Aaron. And Aaron was the high priest that on the Day of Atonement, he was supposed to do some special things. Now, this was no laughing matter. This was a very solemn time. In fact, God says, if you come into my tabernacle any old way you want, dressed any old way you want, drinking or eating anything you want, and not being clean, he says, I'm going to kill you. He says, this is very, very serious. What God was doing was giving us a foreshadowing of what was yet to come. So he was told to clean himself up and to put on a special attire. Then he was told to kill a bull, and it would be a sacrifice for his sins and the sins of his household. He was to sprinkle that blood on the Ark of the Covenant called the mercy seat. He was then had 2 goats, and beside each goat, they were very, very similar. The color, the size, the weight, the age, everything was very similar. He was then to cast lots of which goat would have to die. Once the lots were cast, he would take the goat and he would kill it, and he would sprinkle the blood on the Ark of the Covenant or the mercy seat. The other goat he would take and he would lay his hands on, and he would confess the sins of Israel and place them on this goat. And then there was a man who was instructed, they had it set up where he would take him out into the wilderness so that he would never return again. Now, what does this look like for Christians? You see, Jesus Christ was the one who was sacrificed on that cross. And the reason that goat's blood was sprinkled on the mercy seat is because that was to appease the wrath of God, because sin has a price. And Jesus Christ's death on the cross and his shedding of blood was to appease his wrath on those who would trust in his son. Now, what do you say the scapegoat was for? The scapegoat, when he placed his hands and it put the sin on that goat and it was led out into the wilderness. All the sin of Jesus Christ was placed on him, not his sin, but my sin, your sin. It was all placed on him. And for those who receive that forgiveness of sin, he is the scapegoat. He is the one who cast our sin as far as the east is from the west. What amazing principle this is, that Jesus Christ not only has appeased God's wrath and made it so that we can be robed in the righteousness of Christ and appear before God, but he has also thrown all of our sin as far as the east is from the west. I thank God for this Old Testament foreshadowing picture of what was yet to come. Hope you have a great day.